Hello and welcome to Capitol Review. I'm Mark Hall. State lawmakers in Maryland introducing a bill to redraw the congressional districts. The Democrat behind the legislation says it's in response to Texas's efforts to redistrict to give Republicans the potential for 5 more seats. California also now considering the same efforts to favor Democrats. In Maryland, the bill would create new districts based on the state's Legislative Redistricting Advisory Commission that was done in 2021. Joining Capitol Review is Maryland State Senator Clarence Lam. He represents Arundel and Howard counties. Senator, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Happy to be here. We're
glad to have you. Maryland Governor Wes Moore, you're well aware of, touted earlier in the week that he would redraw congressional districts if need be. And you're contemplating introducing a bill to do just that. Where do things stand right now?
I think we need to take a step forward, and that's why earlier today I filed legislation to be drafted to redraw our legislative district maps. I think it's important to demonstrate to other states that are contemplating this that Maryland stands ready to act, just like California did to help neutralize the efforts that have been taking place in Texas. And I think now is an appropriate time to indicate that no other state should step forward to do this, because if they do, we stand ready to move forward as well.
Is this about Democrats at the state level being proactive?
I think it's important to be proactive, but I think it's also important to be fair. And what President Trump has asked various red states to do is really just extreme gerrymandering. And I think it's important for states that have the ability to do this, like Maryland, to step up to help neutralize some of these efforts.
Well, Maryland already a blue state. They redid the districts, I believe, back in 2021. What impact would your bill have?
So our bill would basically redraw the districts based on a prior map that our state had gone through to develop. There was a Legislative Redistricting Advisory Commission that was set up just after the last census to propose some maps, and this bill would basically revert the state's congressional districts back to that prior map. And I think that is an effort to help demonstrate to these other states that Maryland stands ready to act to neutralize what some of these red states might be doing as well.
You've been quoted as saying that you don't love having to do this, but it's necessary. Why?
I think it's necessary as a caution, as a warning to these other states that their actions will have reactions. And that's what we saw in Texas with California stepping up. And hopefully that will stop this, because I, like you mentioned, don't love having to do this. I don't think this is what our founding fathers had envisioned when they gave states the ability to draw these maps. I think what President Trump has done is weaponize the ability of states to draw them in the most extreme ways. And so, and also out of cycle, right? Normally these are done after the census. This is an unusual out of cycle extreme gerrymander that's taken place. And I'm hoping that this warning will serve as caution to other states to not proceed down this further path, because Maryland does stand ready to help neutralize those efforts as well.
Talk us through the process. You're not in session right now. What happens next, and when could this actually move forward and action be taken?
So we're not currently in session. Maryland is usually only in session from mid-January through mid-April. Because of when the filing deadline is for any candidates that would run for office, which is taking place in February of next year, being able to pass this legislation even at the beginning of the legislative session would probably be very tight and potentially too late, because in all likelihood, any new maps would be sued and would end up in a legal court case. So for this to move forward in a timely fashion, in all likelihood, there would need to be a special session called to bring the General Assembly back to Annapolis to be able to pass new maps. The special session can be called by Governor Moore. Obviously, he's indicated some openness to do this, or it can be called by the leaders of the House and the Senate President, and the Speaker of the House.
Senator Clarence Lam, thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.